Hey guys, it's Monday, our favorite day of the week. It's day one that we get to liberate small business owners just like you from the chaos of working in their business. And I thought I'd take you behind the curtains on a Monday to show you exactly how we recommend that heroic small business owners just like you take a lot of the tasks that are in their business and then begin to delegate those. Not abdicate. There's a difference between abdication and delegation. Abdication is where you take an item that you do. Let's say you're an architect and you design construction drawings, or let's say that you are a mechanic and you're changing brakes. Those are the technical things that you do. Abdicating is just bringing somebody in and say, hey, you change the brakes. You do the construction documents, and then just hope for the best. And you come back in a week and go, why haven't you changed the brakes? Or you changed the brakes, but it's totally different from how I would have changed the brakes. That's abdication. That's basically just saying, hey, here you go. The flip side of that is delegation, and it's an incredibly healthy process when it gets done correctly for a number of reasons. Number one, it allows you to steward your time and the skill set that you've got to the best of your managed time ability. The other thing that it does is it empowers other people to draw out the skill set, the thing that they're really good at, what we call their narrow brilliance. And if you can delegate some of the tasks on your plate to somebody else, now all of a sudden their narrow brilliance can really rise to the top and they can start to offer value to exactly what it is that you're doing in the mission that you're heading towards. So let me take you behind the curtain a little bit and show you one of the ways. Now, I do want to warn you, what I'm about to show you is ridiculously simple. All right, ridiculously simple. It's not intended to be complex. We intentionally make these tools to be overly simplistic, but it's going to show you an outlay. You don't even need this tool. All you need to do is have a little sheet of paper if you want to draw, or just open up a Word document, and I'll show you exactly how to do this. All right, let's go behind the curtain here and show you, not that curtain, let me show you, I need to get tertiary display right here. There we go. And so you can see right here, I'll blow this up so you can see it a little bit better. 150, there we go. So this is step one. Now this is a 6-step process, but I'm just going to give you the basics. Really, really simple, and you'll be able to delegate just from doing this. If you do all 6, you're going to delegate like a beast, like a boss, is what they say. So let's go to step number 1. This is where we have you on a sheet of paper write down everything that you do in your role right now. I mean everything. If you take out the trash, I want it written down. If you replace light bulbs, I want it written down. If you're in sales calls, I want it written down. If you're doing email, I even want specific types of email written down. Are you doing customer-centered email? Are you doing kind of vendor-centered email? Are you doing, what is it that you're doing? And get all of that stuff down on a sheet of paper. Why? Because once you have it down on a sheet of paper, number one, you're going to be so much clearer. All that junk's going to be out of your head. It's going to be down on a sheet of paper. The second thing is we want you to ask 4 questions of each element that you've drawn out. Number one, how do you rank that in terms of, number one, can you do it? And by the way, we have instructions up here. Let me show you here. Number one, are you the only person that can do this? So the I must do this mindset, right? Number 2 is I feel like I need to do this, but I could probably delegate this if I had to, but gosh, I still feel like this is mine. And a number 3 is I should have delegated that a long time ago. So you've got a 1, a 2, or a 3, and then you see those arrows there. I'm going to show you what those mean as well. So you can see like invoicing is a 2. You might be going, I really need to be the one invoicing, but I could offload that to somebody. Or you could say bookkeeping, and you're like, no, I need to get rid of that, and I should have done it a long time ago. The second question you want to ask about every single line item, and this goes really fast, is an up arrow, down arrow, or sideways arrow. The up arrow means this gives me loads of energy. Like I get excited about doing this. A sideways arrow is like, whatever. Either way, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And a down arrow is this sucks the life out of me. I come to this task and I leave it more drained than when I came. A 1 is that you leave it more energized than when you came. Even if you're physically exhausted, emotionally, mentally, you're really excited because it really hit a sweet spot for you. The third question you want to ask is this question. We've got this in rows of time. Now, we do this in minutes so that you can actually capture the amount. That's the fourth question. But in terms of time, you come in and say, you know what, that task takes me about 15 minutes a day or a week or whatever. And so you decide on what that time is. Is it a day, a week, or a month? And you come in and say, that takes me about 45 minutes every day. Let's say that invoicing took you 45 minutes every day. Or let's make that a little bit better. Let's say it took you 45 minutes a week. Now, the average business owner's hourly wage, what you're worth to the business as the owner for your hour is a minimum of $200 per hour and up to about $1,000 per hour. So let's just take the minimum, and let's say it's $200 per hour. So if I did $200 times 0.75, because that's 45 minutes into an hour. So I did $200 times 0.75. I'm at $150 an hour. This is going to cost me $150 every hour that I do it. And you can expand these things or whatever you want to do. But $150 an hour. Now imagine you walk down this list of tasks and you finally start to realize, oh my goodness, the amount of money that these menial tasks are costing me for what I could bring somebody else on and be able to train them to do. It's overwhelming. That's why we recommend that most people get their bookkeeping outsourced. A lot of people are still trying to hang on to that. Get rid of that, because the amount of time that you're going to spend on that, you'll blow past that. We had one business that was spending an equivalent of business owner time of $16,000 a month on bookkeeping. And it was going to cost them about $600 a month to get that outsourced. Now, they needed to train them. So let's go down to that real quick so I can show you this last step so that you can train into this. Now, there's intermediate steps. Remember, I'm just giving you kind of the baseline so you know what questions to ask. First, get everything down on a sheet of paper. Second, go through those rank. Am I the one that has to do it? Does it give me energy or not? How much time am I spending, and how much is it costing me based on my billable time as a business owner? Then the final thing you need to do is come through this little sequence. What's the activity? Who am I going to delegate it to? How am I going to train it? How am I going to track it? And when are we going to start? If you can answer that, here's the activity. Who am I going to give it to? So in this case, I'm going to give invoicing to a guy named Steve. It's a mythical guy named Steve. How am I going to show him how to do invoicing? I'm going to use screencast tutorials. What is that? The easiest one to use is Loom, Loom. Useloom.com. I'll try to remember to put that in the chat window. Useloom.com. You're going to be able to screen capture everything that's on your computer so that you can fall under what we call the systems mindset. The systems mindset is really very simple. The systems mindset simply says, whatever the next thing you're about to do in your business, document it or record it like it's the last time you'll ever do it in your business. The systems mindset. Whatever the next thing is you're about to do in your business, document it and record it like it's the last time you'll ever do it. And then when it comes to train Steve on how to do invoicing, now you've got a recorded video of every single thing that you've done in the invoicing process. So if Steve has any questions, all he has to do is just hit rewind. He doesn't even have to come ask you again. And then every week, you'll notice one of the items that we had on here was tracking. Right here, how are you going to track it? Well, most of your tracking is going to be done during the weekly meeting. Not some special tracking meeting. No. Just in the weekly meeting. In the first weekly meeting, you're going to share the process that needs to be delegated, in this case, invoicing. Next week, you're going to follow up with that process, and you're going to check in. And then the next week, you're going to check in. And then next week, until you realize, all right, Steve's off the ground. He's got this thing rolling, and we're in great shape. All right? So that's a little summary. Number one, write everything down that you can possibly imagine that you do on a daily basis. Number two, get in there and draw those things out. Am I the only person that can do it? Does it give me energy or not? How much time does it take, and how much is it costing me? And then the third thing is to go ask that sequence of questions. Who am I giving it to? How am I going to train it? How am I going to track it? And when do we start? And that's a little way that you can start to delegate something right away. Now you might go, oh my gosh, Scott, that sounds like work. Yeah, it's work. And so you, as a heroic small business owner, you're going to make the courageous decision to delegate one item today. So that's all I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to delegate one item today. So write the item down. Ask those sequence of four filters, rank them. Is this something I have to do? Is it something that I probably could give away, or is it something I should definitely give away? Does this give me energy or suck the life out of me, or is it kind of like, whatever? How much time does it take? How much does it cost me based on a $200 per hour owner billable time? And then that third series of questions. Who am I giving it to? How am I going to train for it? How am I going to track it? And when do we get started? And I hope the answer to that question is right now. Hey, make sure, as always, check us out on the Business on Purpose podcast. Let me see if I can pull that up here for you. The Business on Purpose podcast is not on here. So anyway, go to the Business on Purpose podcast. You can check that out there. And then also, we have got the brand new Systematize My Small Business Facebook page. If you look right there, the Systematize My Small Business Facebook page, you can come in there. You do have to be a small business owner to be in that private Facebook group. But go to Facebook, just Google that right there, Systematize My Small Business. And if you answer those questions, we'd love to have you in that community. All right, hope that helps. Go delegate one item right now so that you can become liberated from the chaos of working in